was real isolating, bro. It was real isolating, and I don't think my mom was strong enough to kind of like deal with that at the time. But I ended up figuring it out and just figuring out like ways to go about it. You know what I'm saying? I had people in my corner. I never had like nobody, but it was very few people at times. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that back then at least would lead me to question like what I should be doing, or is this gonna make sense in the grand scheme of things? Like, am I going through all this strife and like not agreeing with the people surrounding me? Like, is this gonna be worth it? Is it gonna make sense? So I don't really ask those questions anymore because I feel like they've all been answered over time, especially like the feeble ones that I shouldn't have been asking myself in the first place. You know, the ones that like came from outside forces, you know what I'm saying? It's the ones that came from other people not supporting me. But at the time it was definitely hard because I feel like I was always different in like how I approach music and like what I wanted to talk about. So yeah.
We are back. It is This Side of Jersey podcast, the #1 podcast in the world, stamped. I am your host. My name is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe at TSOJ Podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to follow and download at TSOJ Podcast. Now, we have a very, very, very special guest in the building. But before we begin, we have to get into our layup lines. So, for those of you who don't know, layup lines is a segment where we like to just get our guests loose, right? So he has a bunch of this or that questions, and it is your job to answer as fast as possible.
As fast as possible.
As fast as possible.
Okay.
Yep. Let's get 24 on the clock. All right. Contestant, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be, bro.
All right. Pumpkin seeds or the unknown Drake?
Pumpkin seeds.
Kendrick or Cole?
Kendrick.
Drake or Cole?
Cole.
Verse from a legend or a verse from a popping artist at the moment?
Legend.
Being away from Jersey or being away from the studio?
Jersey.
Big Mensa or Chance the Rapper?
Chance.
New York drill or West Coast gangster rap?
West Coast gangster rap.
AT Aliens or Speaker Box and Love Me Love?
Oh my
That was yo, you lucky. Saved by the bell. Saved by the bell. That was a crazy question though, right? I thought so. I thought that was a good question. What, do you have an answer on top? No.
I'm gonna have to go ATL. I like the production on the. I don't know though, because I feel like Speaker Box is more of like it pushes more boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of respect for that project for that reason. But the production, as far as like that dirty soft shit, I feel like ATL.
Okay.
For me, at least.
Okay.
But
I tried to stump you a little bit. I tried to.
I felt like I was killing it too.
Yeah, he was. He was on a roll. I actually asked one of the questions wrong too. The actual question was, after I said Kendrick or Cole, I meant to say Drake or Kendrick.
It was still gonna be Kendrick.
Still be Kendrick. That shit down. Okay. All right. I do want to finish though, because I think I got some good ones I'm kind of proud of.
Okay,
ready?
time on these, or can I just?
No, these are just these can be conversation at this point.
Okay, cool.
Let's do JID or Mick James.
JID.
Was that easy?
Yeah, because I feel like I could definitely line up JID with like an era in my life. Like in 2017 when he was first getting signed, I remember kind of like watching it, wanting that to happen for me. So I kind of like could picture it, and then just like listening to the Never story with that kind of like brought me closer to the music. And Mick is cool too. I just never had like that moment with Mick.
Okay. Valid. Okay. I feel like I know the answer to this one, but I'm asking you: Dreamville or TDE? Wow.
I feel like it's apples and oranges, low key, bro. I feel like it's definitely apples and oranges. I feel like Top Dog they're definitely more pop leaning because I feel like their artists are just like stronger in that sense. You know what I'm saying? So we say that pop leaning is not taken away from their artistry, but like they can do it and they can make it seem effortlessly and still like involve the arts a lot with it. Not to say that Dreamville artists can't, but I don't know. I just feel like TDE has a lot more depth, so I'm gonna have to go with Top Dog.
Wow, I was not expecting you to say that. Okay.
Shout out to Dreamville, though.
And last but not least, Freddie Gibbs or Schoolboy Q?
Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs.
Okay. Shout out to Schoolboy Q, though.
Yeah, that's my guy.
You like his new album?
I love his new album.
Okay.
He said that it was his best album, and I said that after listening to it. I was like, this is the best album.
Okay.
Schoolboy Q's one of those guys where I think he can rap about a similar category of things and it'll never get old.
Okay.
To give you an example of what I mean by that, I think someone else who does that obviously is like Pusha T. I think does that really well.
Okay.
Like he can rap about coke forever, so never gonna not be interesting.
For sure.
I also feel that way about I guess you could say like Young Jeezy's that way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of like you're always you know what you're getting kind of artist. I
For
feel
sure.
that about Schoolboy Q, and I think he's like mastered his craft, he's mastered his sound. And yeah, I think this is his best album.
For sure. I gotta finish it. I definitely started it and I like what I heard.
Yeah.
But I gotta like sit down and like finish it. Get a chance to digest it all the way.
I want to introduce you, and then I want to know what you've been listening to recently.
Mm.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Gentlemen and ladies.
our next guest, he is a singer, or I'm sorry, he's a songwriter. I'm so used to saying singer-songwriter again.
Yeah, I'm a singer sometimes when I feel it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I get in that bag.
Are you a singer enough that I should put it in your titles?
Maybe. I feel like I'm singing a lot on my next project.
I
So
like it. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Our next guest, he is a singer.
mm-hmm.
He is a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He is a rapper.
Yes.
And as we will uncover in this interview, he is a multifaceted artist. Ladies and gentlemen, Wiseboy Jeremy is here.
Yes, thank you.
How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. It's a beautiful day outside, and in New Jersey, it's been great for the past like week or so. Aside from like some rainy spurts, and I'm sure that you've been experiencing that too. So I'm feeling great, bro. Just trying to soak it in, and get my circadian rhythm right and shit. Make the best music that I can. Get this good music that I'm sitting on out into the world, and just keep repeating the process.
Bro, you sent me some things.
Some things I did.
You sent me some things before this interview.
It's a lot coming out, bro.
Yes, it is.
Too much shit.
I'm very excited to get into it, bro. But I want to follow our layup lines conversation for a second, though.
Okay.
Just because we got into some artists that we like, have opinions about, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what have you been listening to right now? What have you been inspired by? What have you been? Even if it's not inspiration, you're just like, I'm a fan of this right now. This is what I'm.
Man, I feel like I'm always finding and I'm always like actively searching for music. You know what I'm saying? So I've been listening to like a lot of like old shit, like a lot of old soul and funk and like jazz shit, you know what I'm saying? And I just find these albums and I just spin them like front to bottom and then just like figure out how I feel about them. If I fuck with it, then I'll probably come back to it. If not, then probably not gonna come back to it. But in general, I feel like in a lot of my life I'm moving, you know what I'm saying? So ambient music is like the best for that, you know what I mean? So a lot of shit that I've been a fan of recently, I've been a fan of a lot of like jungle shit, like old drum and bass from like the 90s. I found this shit called Total Science recently. That was really good. Also, DJ Bailey, I think it is. Bailey or DJ Bailey, something like that, like intelligent drum and bass. That's been pretty cool. I listen to like a lot of reggae, a lot of dub shit, but like that's what I came up on because of my dad and everything. A lot of hip hop every day, every single day, of course. Trying to think of hip hop acts I'm listening to right now. Today I was listening to Mock, Westside, V's. I was listening to V's on the way here. I was listening to Kendrick this morning too, and I need to listen to Kendrick more. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Kendrick always helps center me, especially like in my young life. Like every time I would listen to a Kendrick album, it would just be like, you know what I'm saying, real centered. I feel like I would understand. You know what I'm saying? A lot. I don't know what I had to understand, but back in the day, it just helped me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really be listening to Kendrick like that no more, but I was this morning. And yeah, a lot of Japanese jazz and shit like that. But that's what I'm fans of recently.
Let me ask you a question, bro. You said your dad, growing up with your dad, you said you listened to a lot of like dubstep, reggae, stuff like that.
It's called dub.
Dub, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Dub,
yeah.
sorry.
So it's basically like, it's just like rhythms and shit like that, like instrumentals basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then where does the hip hop influence? Not I want to say influence.
mm-hmm.
Where does the spark come? So like when you were a kid, what was the hip hop that was like, oh my God, what is this? And that was like your welcome to hip hop.
When I was a kid, it was Drake, bro. Like the first rap song that I heard was "I'm on One," and it changed my life forever, bro. It was like, I remember my cousin showed it to me, and like the bug could just bit me like instantaneously, bro. Like all three verses, I was like, this shit is crack, bro. Like everything.
I'm on by Drake was your first hip hop song.
My very first. I was like, how old was I? like my first that was like introduced to me like, yo, you gotta listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Because like we're listening to like the reggae and shit with my pops, like we didn't really listen to the radio too much, you know what I'm saying? And like I do have memories looking back now, listening to the radio, and it was just like, who was hot back then? Like 2 Chainz and like Wale and like Chris Brown was going crazy back in time. So like that's what we would hear on like the hip hop radios and shit. But it was when I started digging in like middle school and finding like the Kendricks and the Coles and just like going down, you know what I'm saying? Those rabbit holes. That's when I really like fell in love and like wanted to pursue it myself, you know what I mean?
Bro, you speak very highly of Kendrick. I'm hearing
That's the greatest
very
record
of all time. Is he?
Yes, sir.
Does he need more? Does he need more music for that? Does he need more catalog to be considered that?
Not to me. I'm gonna always say that music is subjective, but I feel like what Kendrick has done, I don't think I'm outlandish to say that he doesn't need to do much more. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he says with the shit that he has put out. You know what I mean? It didn't take him 10 albums to be able to get this point across. It took him 1. And then he did a whole nother album, got a whole nother point across. And then he did a 3rd album, like, all right, we're gonna fuck with this now. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's kept going. So I feel like sonically, no matter how I feel about how the music is, or like if it's my favorite Kendrick album or not, one thing I respect about his artistry is like he always wants to say something, you know what I'm saying, regardless. And it's always a reflection of him. So I think that is tried and true greatness, in my opinion. So
Are you familiar with Frankie Hill? South Jersey rapper. He's a rapper. So I'm pissed off him. He's amazing. I'm gonna show you my videos.
okay.
He always says that Kendrick, when I bring up the volume argument, like about like, how was that fair to Jay-Z? Jay-Z has 14, right?
Right.
The argument that Frankie made that kind of stuck with me was that he said simply off of the discography, like value of discography.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, he doesn't have to do it 14 times like Jay-Z did. He was like, he can do it in
Okay. For those who are just discovering that, Jeremiah is my name. Yeah, the beginning. So July 13th, 2002. I was born in Woodbury, and my peoples were living in Philadelphia at the time. So I was staying in Philadelphia until about 6th, 7th grade, I want to say. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to like.
Yeah.
So I want to say like 6th, 7th grade. And through all this time of me living in Philadelphia, I was schooling in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I still went to Willingboro schools and shit. But I was living in Philadelphia. We made it happen. Looking back, it doesn't make any type of sense, but we made it happen. But yeah, so then I moved to Willingboro in 2017, and then I've just been here ever since because I moved out of my grandma's crib. But no, I got something fucked up. Hold on. So I was in Philly, came to stay with my grandma after I was schooling in Jersey, living in Philly and everything. I was living with my grandma from 2013, 2014 to 2017. Okay, and in 2017, that's when my parents moved from Philadelphia over to Willingboro. Same park and everything, just a couple blocks down. We all moved to Willingboro. It was me and then my whole family. So it was like my mom, my dad, and then I have one little brother that wasn't born until a year after. But my whole family was there at that point. So it was like 8 of us, 8, 9 of us, I want to say. Besides my little brother that wasn't born until 2018, and then 2017 to present, I've been in Willingboro.
What was the biggest thing you noticed between your lifestyle in Philly and your lifestyle in New Jersey?
Well, I didn't really go outside in Philly, you know what I'm saying? And rightfully so, because I was very young, and this is where my dad had grew up, so, and he knew, you know, kind of what went down and what could go down if you want, like, safe or had your head on a swivel. So they were definitely kind of sheltering me when we were out there. But in Jersey, this was kind of like, this was my life as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was in school out here, so all my friends were out here. And then I was staying with my grandma for a portion of the time going to school out here. So that was kind of just to alleviate like having to travel back and forth from Philly to Jersey. So once me and my sister started doing that, it was kind of like all of my life is in Jersey. You know what I mean? So technically, I moved out of Philly in 2013, 14. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when like me and my sister at least officially kind of transitioned to Jersey, and when we were going into like middle school and high school at that point. So we kind of just coming of age and shit like that. So.
Did you ever feel like you were being like pulled between two places? Like, did you ever feel like, I know you said like my friends and stuff were in Jersey, but did you ever feel like you were just like, kind of like, I don't want to say not knowing where to call home, but almost kind of like you're wearing two hats almost, right?
I mean, for sure, it would be because we would go home on the weekends regardless. So the times that we would stay with my grandma through 2014 to 2017, we would still go to like Philly on the weekends. So I would be like with my friends. It would be a Friday afternoon. We're having fun, and my mom pulls up in the caravan. And it's time to go, and it's just like you can't do
See
that
y'all on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on Monday. So yeah, that was the only thing I could like remember as a kid. But like I fucked with Philly though. You know what I'm saying? It was cool just living in the city and like going to school in the suburb. It was just like a duality as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this, bro. How'd you get your name? How'd you get Wiseboy Jeremy?
So I feel like my name was low-key given to me. But it was at the end of 2020, I wanna say. End of 2020, end of 2021. Nah, definitely 2020. I was going by Jeremy O before. And Jeremy O was cool, but I feel like it didn't really stick out. It wasn't really as authentic as I felt like, an artist name needed to be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at that point, a lot of the places that my mind was at, were like where I want to take my career, I was like, I don't know, I need people to see my name and be like, what is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? And not like see my name and just be like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I felt about Jeremy O. And it was relatively simple, but I remember I just like scrapped the album that I was working on, and I was just going through a lot personally at the time. I think I was like 17, 18, like just turning 18 probably around that. And then I wanted to drop new music, but like I kind of didn't want to be held back by the old moniker anymore. So I was like, I want to change my name before I drop new music. And I just kind of started thinking, had some conversations with some homies, and like not about changing the name, but just in general, just like. And around this time, it was like end of year stuff. So like the conversations with everybody's revolving around like, yeah, this is the year, like we're gonna do it. We did all this year, and now it's time to, you know what I'm saying? So this is like kind of all going into my mind. And then I was just like, I kind of want to put like, at the time, I wanted to put like a definition to the stuff I was talking about. And the thing is, I make completely different music than I did at the time. So like back then, I feel like my music was very preachy, and I always wanted to be positive and shed light on things that maybe like shouldn't be shed on, or there's no light possible to shed on such thing. But I would always want to do that, you know what I'm saying? I would always want to be that bearer of like peace and shit like that. And I ended up dropping that like a year or two after I ended up choosing the name, because I kind of just started moving and growing with music a little more. But at the time it made a lot of sense. And I feel like it still kind of does, but not in like the most direct sense, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if you heard an old Wiseboy Jeremy song, it would make a lot more sense. So I was calling myself Wiseboy.
Okay. Conscious rap, a little bit. Okay.
Exactly. And that's a box I wanted to break out of. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like it was definitely ironic that I chose that as my name. But I don't know. I feel like the universe was kind of just telling me, just run with it, and it'll make sense. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. When you changed your name, when you said you were doing something new, did anything else change with that? Was it like an image change, or was it just kind of like a put out of a name, and I was just gonna kind of rebrand the name, or was it like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how much change happened when you did the name thing?
I feel like it was definitely just the name change. I feel like the other change, at least that was significant, ended up happening over time. Okay. So it wasn't like a directly snap. You know, it kind of just happened gradually.
And why Jeremy instead of Jeremiah?
I feel like it's a little more digestible. I feel like Jeremiah is very long. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, back then when I was thinking of the dynamics of my name and everything, like I kind of wanted something that could grab you and like be catchy in a sense, you know? So I kind of wanted to shorten my name to kind of just like, give something that sticks.
Mm-hmm. Bro, talk to me about, I hear you say like, it sounds like you were rapping at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you were rapping at. What's the social pressure like at this time? So you're a kid in Willingboro schools.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to be preaching something that what I would immediately say isn't like the number one sound coming out of Willingboro, right? So you say like the positivity and like the, right? Mm-hmm. So like what's the social climate around you like when you're doing this? Like is there a lot of support? Is there Like you're on your own.
Is this back then or?
Back then, yeah, back then.
Yeah, it was real isolated, bro. It was real isolated, and I don't think my mom was strong enough to kind of like deal with that at the time. But I ended up figuring it out and just figuring out like ways to go about it. You know what I'm saying? I had people in my corner. I never had like nobody, but it was very few people at times. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that back then at least would lead me to question like what I should be doing, or is this gonna make sense in the grand scheme of things? Like, am I going through all this strife and like not agreeing with the people surrounding me? Like, is this gonna be worth it? Is it gonna make sense? So I don't really ask those questions anymore because I feel like they've all been answered over time, especially like the feeble ones that I shouldn't have been asking myself in the first place. You know, the ones that like came from outside forces, you know what I'm saying? It's the ones that came from other people not supporting me. But at the time it was definitely hard because I feel like I was always different in like how I approached music and like what I wanted to talk about. So yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you had a very, I would say, what's the word? I think you've seen a lot of geography in New Jersey, right? And then you also kind of have like the Philadelphia backboard to kind of like always
Not enough,
right? Yeah, just to kind of like for reference in terms of like perspective. I guess my question is like, what are your thoughts on, we'll say New Jersey as a whole first. So maybe let me backtrack. Let's start at the micro level. Let's start at South Jersey.
Okay.
And then we'll kind of go into like the state. So what are your immediate thoughts having all this kind of perspective? Woodbury, Willingboro, right? And then like I said, Philadelphia, just for reference. What are your thoughts on New Jersey? What's your climate? What comes to mind when you think of New Jersey?
I think New Jersey is greatness, bro. But I feel like if I'm being realistic, and you have to be, Jersey is the little brother to a lot of our surrounding counterparts. You know what I'm saying? And South Jersey, especially, there's so much like talent and diversity here. You know what I mean? And I feel like the world doesn't know that, and it gets to a point where like we ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we know that we're like this great and this special? And I feel like this wavelength of, you know what I'm saying, what me and my friends are surfing on right now, I feel like we can take this shit to the moon, and I feel like we know we can take this shit to the moon, but like I feel like there's always been like obstacles set in place, you know what I'm saying, just coming from a South Jersey, because it's like it's not a network like a Philadelphia or like a New York that's surrounding us, or like Atlanta or like a LA, just in the grand scheme of like the states, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to create the network, you have to outsource to find the networks, and you have to bring the networks back home. You know what I'm saying? Home is not the network, which to me is a blessing because I'm glad that I could work outside of home and still have a home to come to after I spend days in New York, or I got a show over here, or I got to catch a flight back home. I'm happy that the place that I can come rest my head is quiet and rural, and it's as I know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no surprises here. You get me? Not that surprises are bad or anything. Like, I fuck with surprises, but maybe not when I'm resting my head. You know what I mean? And like, just the community, bro. I feel like the community is great in New Jersey, and like everybody wants to do something. It's like everybody wants to get out of Jersey essentially, but only to bring back to Jersey, if that makes sense. And I think that's beautiful. So yeah, that's how I feel about South Jersey.
I was going to bring this up later in the interview. It probably will come back up, so it's fine. But something that I noticed when I was listening to your music is, I'm going to lightly say the word introspective, but I want to explain it a little bit.
Okay.
When I listen to you rap, you seem very aware.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say aware, I mean you seem very conscious of like, I don't want to say just like cultural surroundings, but your society, cultural surroundings. I feel like you spend with the room in a crowded looking around. Like you're like, oh my god, 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 you're like. Like you're like, oh my god, you're like, you know what I mean? You're just like you're just taking in the room. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? And then like you go home that night and then go write a crazy like song about something crazy introspective, right?
Right.
But I say that to say, as I'm hearing you say this, do you ever, in your observation, because sometimes it's hard to observe without making a judgment, or it's hard to observe without formulating a biased opinion, or like it's hard to just observe, right? when I hear you talk about Jersey, it sounds like you kind of recognize the good and the bad pretty clearly. Like you're kind of like, I understand what this place is, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a period of like wanting to disassociate from Pennsauken or from New Jersey, or wanting to kind of like, I don't want to say like F this place, but kind of like, you know what I mean? Kind of like, this ain't it.
I mean, yeah, bro. There was times when I was first starting where I was like, I feel like I have to move to New York for at least a couple of years to like get my feet off the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, and only I wouldn't say New York because that was like the closest network to us. But there was definitely times where like, even in not like a negative light, like I hated that I had to do it, but I just felt like it had to be done. Like I had to outsource to, you know what I'm saying, set my feet on these grounds that I want to set my feet on, and I felt like I just couldn't do that. Like staying in Jersey my whole life, and not that I want to stay in Jersey my whole life right now, but I just know there's definitely ways to do that because I've been in Jersey up to this point, and that's got me where I am, and I'm nowhere where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we can, you know what I'm saying, do a lot with being where we're from. And like I said, a lot of people that I associate myself with kind of feel the same way. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Have you been to a city, maybe not Philly, but have you been to a city that you feel kind of does the social ecosystem right, or does the, creative ecosystem right?
Explain more on the creative ecosystem. In terms of the city.
Okay, so in Philadelphia, you can go through a series of events that will kind of land you, I don't want to say guarantee you, but like if you cover these bases, you will most likely get your name out there in the city. And from you getting your name to this point, this now opens the door to you to now you're getting cosigns from people that can then bring you to the next level. Here's what I mean by that. In Philadelphia, I would say some things that are elementary in your career that might happen that you can kind of predict, I might see you again later, in bigger lights, is like, at one point it was like Cosmic Cap. Okay. Like you got Cosmic Cap, right? Then it might have been, I think right now, one of the more elementary or foundational steps is like Bright-Field, like being a Bright-Field and being tied to that tour. Shout out to Bright-Field, right? Then you could say like the next step up might be like a Tierra Whack cosign. I love Tierra Whack. She showed me love. Crazy. Shout out to Tierra Whack. Then you might get like, I don't know. You might get like a Gilly Wallow picture or cosign, right? Like you might, like there's kind of like these checkpoints that like these artists and these like you kind of can formulate a recipe to success by trying to follow these steps. Does that make sense? Very much. And in doing that, you will also then formulate a network. It will become part of a network that will like now you're part of an ecosystem that is moving now. Right. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I mean. So have you seen a city, and then part of that ecosystem is also like support of fans, right? And like maybe lack of crabs in a barrel mindset, where like, I had somebody who said to me to help explain this idea. I had someone who said to me like, when he was traveling, he was a sax player. He was saying, when I travel, I like performing in places like Chicago, I like performing in places like LA, I like performing in places like, he said somewhere else, I want to say like Detroit or something like that, I forgot what it was. But he said, when you go to a show in Philly, he was like, 90% of the audience is artists, which then means that when they come and see Wiseboy Jeremy, 90% of the audience is kind of just sizing him up. They're not really there to support or invest or really consume or like. For sure. Does that make sense? Yeah. Versus, he was like, when you go to a place like Chicago, you do a venue or whatever, he was like, 50% of the audience is rappers, but 30% are just consumers who just love hip hop. And the other 20% are investors who want to like, hey, I'm a videographer, or like, hey, like they're trying to help you in some capacity. Does that make sense? Sure. So to bring that back, have you seen, and it's okay if the answer is no, any ecosystems or any cities that kind of model this, like, if we could take the way things move in this city and just like put it in Jersey, we would take off. Does that make sense? Definitely. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like you named a great one, like how you broke down Philadelphia and just like the ladder of like steps that are there for potential artists to climb and everything. But yeah, I can't really think of any offhand that I've seen that like I want to model Jersey of, or I feel like we could, but maybe I'm just not paying attention in the right places.
So.
I don't want to say that sounds mean. I don't want to say it. Right places. But listen, bro. Let's talk a little bit of the music. So you sent some things over to me.
I did.
To check out, and I haven't checked out. So let's start with you sent me a few projects, some of which are not out yet. But I want to start with Pumpkin Seeds, bro.
Okay.
I want to start with Pumpkin Seeds.
Beautiful project.
Beautiful project is correct, bro.
Thank you.
Beautiful project is correct, bro. Talk to me about it, bro. The inspiration, the baby. Let's talk about it.
So man, it was July of. It was June. No, it was July. It was July of 2022, and I had this show. Shout out to my homie Sko, and it was a lot. There was a lot of great artists at the show. Marco Plus, Andre Lawrence, Swipe with the Dang, Gnarly Marley, and at this time, and there was a couple more too. But at this time, like I feel like all of us as artists were kind of just like peering over the riverbank into like the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like none of us were really like bubbling too crazy yet, but we kind of were like, you know, all like we knew what was about to happen. And shout out to Skull for curating this lineup too. So I did that show, and then I met a lot of cool people at that show. And there was this one person that came to the show. His name was Jalal, my homie Abstract Jai. He wanted to send me a couple beats after it. So he sent me a couple beats, and then I ended up it's still on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, you keep going, bro. We don't have a producer today, so
Oh no, all good.
I'm playing many hats.
Yeah. So he ended up sending me some beats when I got back from that show. So it's like 3:00 in the morning. He sent me some beats. I think I sent him a draft the next morning, and he was just like, yo, like these are crazy. So the beat that I hopped on was produced by another one of my homies named Curdy, right? So they had collabed on the beat. Now I already was familiar with Curdy's work from shit that he had with my homie Wakai. So when I saw his name, I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to work with him, like, let's get it in. And then I ended up hopping on the beat that they co-produced. And then after I sent that to Jalal, he's like, yo, this is crazy. I also got a pack that Curdy wants to send you too. So he sends me the Curdy back. So I'm like, oh shit, like, man, like we're here, cool. So I rapped on one of the beats. That song ended up being Live to See. So that was technically the first song that me and Curdy had made together. And it was the first song that we released together too. Excuse me. So we do that, and I think I did one other joint, like within, this is all in the span of like 3-4 days, right? So now we have 3 songs. I'm like, okay, like I'm about to just drop it, fuck it. Like I'm coming straight off of Still Chldrn, and a lot of the shit that I was making was like scattered, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a song Be Good that I made with Curdy, like there was a line on it, and I'm just like, Brody hit my phone and said, your shit been growing. I told him, nigga, I know, I just been alone, ain't even in album mode, I just been recording things in quarantine, and dog, you know? So a lot of the shit that I was making was kind of like scattered. It's like something here, something there, something by this producer, something by that producer. It was really nothing like at the forefront of the project. But when I made these 3 songs, I was like, I mean, they sound good together, so fuck it, I'll just put out a 3-pack. And then Curdy was like, nah, like, hold it, let's make an album. And then that is when we transitioned into making an album. And
Can I stop you right there for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
What was that conversation like? And on your end, when he says, bro, I know you want to do a 3-song EP, we got to pivot. We got something bigger. What is going through your head when you get that?
I was like, fuck it, bro, because I had already known that we was probably going to be on some like Al and Freddie shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Producer, rapper, collab album, you know what I'm saying? And it was going to be my first one. It's still going to be my first one. This idea was almost 2.5 years ago now. You know what I'm saying? So we've been sitting on this album for a minute, but at the time I was just like, hell yeah, like let's do it, you know what I'm saying? Because the consensus was like he would just keep sending me beats as he was, and I would keep sending him drafts as I was. So we both knew that if the album shit didn't work out, if we figured it would, we just have a lot of music with each other. So
that's fire. There you go, referencing Freddie Gibbs again, bro.
Shout out to Gibbs,
so, bro, talk a little bit about your relationship with Curdy, bro. Talk a little bit about that.
That's my dog, bro.
Yeah.
That's my dog. I've definitely slept on that man's couch. I've gotten so fucking high with that dude, bro. And it's all just like the basis of making music, making great music. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't think we officially met until like 5-6 months after our first like musical transaction that I was talking to you about. And then when I first went to his crib down in Virginia, bro, he put me up these crazy ice cream sandwiches.
That's not what I thought you was gonna say.
I've not had an ice cream sandwich though. If you go to Richmond and you gotta hook up with Curdy and get one of these sandwiches. They got flavors like you think of ice cream sandwich and you think of like chocolate, like
with the vanilla.
yeah, but exactly. But like I had the game fucked up.
They opened it up for you.
Yo, it's like they got churro, they got like coffee, birthday cake, all types of flavor, and then like the cookie is gonna be like in conjunction with the ice cream flavor, but it's different though. So the flavor is birthday cake, the confetti is in the ice cream, but the crust is in the
so they use the
I'm telling you, bro, it's fucking the game up. And every rapper that goes to Richmond to cook with him, he puts them onto the ice cream sandwiches and they come back changed them.
Saying the same shit that you're saying right
I
now.
promise you, bro.
Bro, when you say he put you on, I thought you was gonna say like this crazy new band or like this crazy. I'm like ice cream sandwiches.
Low key, like I mean, me and Curdy, I feel like we talk about music and shit all the time, but it's like randomly, you know. Like I don't think we've ever sat down and like had a deep, in-depth conversation about music. But like I'll send him some shit that like is inspiring me or I think it's cool, like a random Mark Comedy song or like a random like jazz album that I found, and like 9 times out of 10 he's so musically inclined that like he'll just be like, yo, like yeah, like I fuck with this. But like he's known it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's crazy. But shout out to him, bro. We got a lot more on the way.
If you can, you may not be able to. Can you think of a song on Pumpkin Seeds, right, that may have been the most difficult song for whatever reason? Maybe because you and Curdy were seeing eye to eye, and you're like, bro, like whatever. Maybe it was difficult because you couldn't get the last 4 bars, and it was like, like you know what I'm saying? Like, think of a song that was the hardest.
Like difficult between me and Curdy, or just difficult in general?
Let's go between you and Curdy.
Between me and Curdy,
and then we'll do you. Or whatever comes to mind. If you come to mind first, just be yours.
I'm trying to think, bro. I don't think that we like disagree too much in the process of making it, cause like I feel like the way that we go about music that we don't like, that we make, it's kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, just don't listen to it. They're just like, this song doesn't exist anymore. Until you find it again like 6 months later and it does exist and it's better than you thought and now you're doing something with it. But yeah, if there were songs that like I would send him that he wasn't really feeling, like he probably wouldn't say anything. If there's beats that he said that I wasn't feeling, I probably wouldn't say anything, because I feel like in the beat sense, I'm sure like he'll just send it to like another rapper or something if nothing ends up coming with it. But as a rapper that wants to make great music, I feel like everybody that I'm making music with, I want them to be inspired by it. You know what I'm saying? So I got a producer, homie Supreme, and like we work super, super closely together. Like definitely closer to me and Curdy do. And it's kind of like a lot of it is verbal and like in the sense of like, do we like this? Is this something that we want to finish? Is this something that we want to keep going on? We've been working on this for 40 minutes now. How's the beat coming along? How's my verse coming along? So I feel like we work in conjunction with that. If we're not feeling it, like we just stop and make something else. You know what I mean? But I feel like that's the best way to get it done. You know what I'm saying? And not try to focus on fixing or making any tweaks to stuff, because I feel like music should be a natural process, or at least that's how I like to keep mine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can't really think of any crazy disagreements that me and Curdy had, but there was definitely some songs that were like obstacles to get over. Difficulties with like features and such. Yeah, that was really it.
Was there a song that was hard to write? Maybe because it had to come from a place of, you know, somebody you were trying to put away, or was there any of those emotions on this album, specifically on Pumpkin Seeds?
Church Doors. There's a song called Church Doors. That was a strong one. I was at work at the time. This is when I was still working on cars and shit. And I was listening to the beat in my earphones, and it was just like one of the times where I just kept listening to the beat on repeat. And I was just like, I just gotta go home and just do something like this. And I didn't really know what I wanted to write on it, but I knew I wanted to write something. And it was one of those songs where it's just like, I just turn on the beat and I kind of just let the thoughts carry it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about rhyming or like song structure or anything. It's just one of those like diary entry type joints, you know? That was cool. There was also this song that I made as a joke that Curdy ended up wanting to put on the project. It's probably like one of the best songs on there, bro. And just shit weird happens like that, cause like he had set the beat and the beat was crazy and I never heard no shit like that before. And I wanted it, but like I feel like it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't want to give it up. So I was kind of being selfish, and I was just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna write something over it, even if like I don't care about it. Back to me saying, if I send Curdy something, he's not feeling it, he doesn't say anything, then that's just gonna be that. You know what I mean? And at the time, I wasn't really trying to like waste the beat, like on some Kanye West, lift yourself shit. But it was more like, I just want to like take my hand at it, you know? And I did just that, and I recorded it, and I felt how I felt when I first wrote it, and I was like, nah, this actually still is like some joke shit. So then put it to the side, and then we were listening to it This is when I first met him. I think I stayed there for like a couple days, and then I think on like the second to last day or something, we needed like a track 8, and that was the specific consensus of the conversation. Like we need a track 8, and then
like in the timeline, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
right,
we're missing 8.
We're missing 8, and we need an 8 because the way I had sequenced it, everything was cool, but I was like, something needs to go between this, and that's gonna be track 8. So we're gonna have to add a track, but instead of it going at the bottom, it'll go in spot 8. And he was just like, yo, I think Like Home would be a crazy track 8. And then I just made the intro like 1minute and 30 seconds long and put it on the project as like an interlude. And then like I got home from Virginia and it's hilarious, bro. Like every one of my friends that I showed it to was like, what the fuck? Like this is like I think the main shock value for my friends was like they have been listening to me make music and they've been like understanding my output for let's say up to 5 years at this point, and they've never heard me make no shit like this. So everybody's just kind of like shocked that I even like dared to do it, and it was good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely excited for that song to be out. But
how do you know when you're done writing a song that it's going to be a banger? Banger for whatever reason. Like, you don't gotta be like it's gonna be a club banger. Like just like like you're like wow. You know what I mean? Like how do you know? What is the?
If I can't wait to record it, like usually if I write it, I'm like I have to record this right now. Like if I want to go from writing straight to listening, that's how I know that it's some good shit.
That's fire. That's fire. Okay, so Pumpkin Seeds. Okay, seems like the baby. That seems like the closest near and dear to the heart. I don't want to assume that. Is it the closest, like near and dear to your heart in terms of your projects?
Right now, in terms of what the world knows and what the world is going to know this year, yeah. But in the grand scheme of like the shit I'm sitting on, I have so much crazier shit I feel like. You know, but I really appreciate Pumpkin Seeds for like just that chapter of my life, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a chapter that I felt like I was like exhausted after and I needed to close it so bad. And I remember like just being in the midst of making the album, there was a time where Curdy had lost his hard drive. Or no, Curdy's hard drive got stolen, I think. It got stolen on the bus. And then this is like February, I want to say, February 2023. March 2023 comes around. I had to fly to Utah to shoot a music video. And I didn't fly straight to Utah. I flew to Louisiana, met up with some homies down there, and then we were going to drive from Louisiana to Utah. We stopped in Texas. When we stopped the next day in Texas, I plugged my hard drive in to nothing. And I tried to take it to a Best Buy out there. And they told me some shit that I heard before. Because long story short, I've had hard drives that crash on me. So I kind of knew what was going on, but I went to the Best Buy to be optimistic. But yeah, I say that to say Curry got his shit stolen in February. My shit crashed in March. So we had 0 copies of like anything on Pumpkin Seeds. So everything that you're hearing is a demo. But on the contrary, Curdy is a magician and a wizard and should not be labeled a producer because what he did with the demos is out of this world, bro. So yeah, just a little lore behind like the shit that you're hearing on Pumpkin Seeds. But with that being said, we had lost it and like just spending the months like trying to retrieve it and then just like going through the life shit that I was going through. I felt like I just wanted to like get the album out to close that chapter of my life. You know what I'm saying? So
it almost seems like you doing that is for you. It's not even for your fans. It's not for
definitely.
It was like for me to even move on, I just gotta like put this out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know.
Do you battle that? Like the fans versus you?
Nah, bro. I just be trying to make music. I try to keep my nose out of it when I can. At the shows, yeah. I feel like the shows that's like my time to like interact with people and, you know what I'm saying, really express that love because I feel like they're there to express that love to the artists that they came to see. So that's where you know what I'm saying, that's like, you know, the family dinner. You get what I mean? Like this is what this is all for. But like on Instagram and shit, like I love everybody that like follows me and is like supporting me on the gram and shit. But like I'm a fucking troll on there, bro. I say like random shit, comments and stuff.
I'm very curious to know Wiseboy Jeremy the performer. I'm very curious to know about who that guy is. Right?
Bro, you remember that show that you came to?
Yes, in Glassboro?
Yes.
Ton of people, bro. Ton of people.
Man, he's well, that show specifically, like I was so
he's an entertainer, by the way.
Yeah.
He's an entertainer by far.
He's a drunk entertainer. I've been less drunk recently. And that's intentional. You know, done a lot of shows since that one show and have just had a different relationship with like the liquor and shit going on stage. But at the time, bro, that shit was all fun and games. Like, fuck it, we get as shit faced as possible and then go on stage. At least I did. I know, like, my DJ and, like, Max, who was playing keys that day, I know, like, they kind of chilled out and everything. So it was really just, like, me and, like, the people who came to see me. We were just, like, all out outside near my car before the show, just drinking. And I just remember, like, just the opportunity of doing that show and just, like, all the build up and like what I was doing from the beginning of that year to then, I was just very grateful, bro. And like I just remember being backstage, like I'm about to like kill this shit, bro. Like this is about to be my best performance. Like my mind was just like I just wanted to outperform everybody. And though now I don't ever approach shows like that because I definitely realized that it's a lot more to like me being on stage and like having a better performance than everybody. But I can definitely say that day I was definitely like, nah, fuck it. Like, I belong here. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to show people I belong here. And, like, it wasn't even me because I had a lot of friends in the crowd. And, like, they were, like, a testament to, like, he belongs here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that contagiousness from, like, how my friends were interacting with me, that kind of, like, spread to, like, the whole first row. And then the whole first row was engaged. And then the first row spread to, like, the middle. And then the middle spread to, like, the back. And before you know it, I'm fucking stage diving, bro. I'm, like, in the crowd. And I don't even know what happened like after I get off stage. So shout out to that show. But yeah, I try to leave everything on stage regardless. So
what's I'm hearing you say this, and it's like a lot of when you say you want to get really drunk, you guys want to prove this, I want to just perform. It sounds like you have a very strong sense of self. It seems like you have a very interesting relationship with like confidence. And I say that because like you seem like a very confident person.
thank you.
And I guess this is kind of like what I would say being a confident person is like not really caring too much. You know what I mean? And not in a bad way. That sounds horrible to her. No, you know what I mean? Like you seem very like you do things for you. And like I know when they feel right and I know when the time is right and I know when this is it. Like, you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. I've had to build it and like come to grips with it over time. You know what I'm saying? I always wasn't the most confident person or the most like sure person of like what moves I should make or even what moves I want to make, you know, but I'm happy to say that it's easier in these days. I'm still not the most like secure person because I feel like it's hard to know what's right, bro. I feel like none of us can. And I feel like we're all just trying to learn. But I feel like the fact that I love learning and I just want to learn and I know that everything is something to learn, I feel like I'm more open-minded, you feel me? So I've definitely heard that before, like people saying that like I seem very confident. And I don't want to say I'm not, but like I feel like I'm not, bro. I feel like I'm just like, I just want to explore, I just want to learn shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure of myself. I know that I'm a good rapper to the point I don't care about being a good rapper anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here to do more than just make good rap songs. You get what I mean? Yeah. So maybe the fact that I'm really not like, I don't put too much effort in like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to express that side, maybe that could be another thing. But no, I appreciate it though, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I recently had this conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I can put a bow on it real nice for you. I was having this conversation with someone and because you were talking about confidence, you just said a word that sparked this memory. You said explore.
Okay.
And I was having this conversation and what I said was, the question on the table was like, how do you make a kid confident? Because you know how kids grow up and they have like low self-esteem, like, right. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you make a kid confident?
Okay.
And I was thinking about my life and like what makes me confident and like, or what I would like to say that I grew up in a situation where I was not given confidence. Right. I don't think it was something that was given to me by my parents. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I think that if you wanted to make someone confident or a kid confident, you have to give them the courage to explore.
Right.
What I mean by that is like, if your kid comes and says, Daddy, I want to be an astronaut, you should fucking go buy them some science shit and make them feel like astronaut.
True.
Until they don't want to do that anyway. Say, you know what, Daddy, now I want to be a rapper. You're like, okay, cool, we're going to get your soundboard. You're like, you know what I mean? And when you said explore, it's like, that's kind of the key thing that I think contributes to confidence is like being able and comfortable enough to just explore and not get so like, you know what I mean? Almost like such like being a student of life. I think it builds confidence. You know what I mean?
For sure, bro. And I feel like you saying comfortable makes a lot of sense there too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would be like the short answer I could give. Like, I'm not confident, I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like to be comfortable, so I'm always trying to explore a way to get out of this comfort to find some uncomfort, because now I'm in this uncomfortable state and I'm learning here. You get what I'm saying? So,
very well said.
Something like that. Appreciate you,
Very
bro.
well said. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, bro, real quick, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because you put out what I would say is very good content.
Okay.
I would say that you kind of, when you started becoming a rapper, I think content was kind of a thing already, maybe? Or would you say content has become something that has become new since you started rapping?
When would you say that, like, the media or social media shifted to, like, content?
Like, really content creation?
Like, where it was a thing, that, like, every corner you turn on social media is, like, content creation.
I want to say as far as I can remember, because I don't always have the most, like, up-to-date relationship with social media. I would like to say that, so what I can remember, I was like, oh, like, you have to be doing something on social media. Was like, (2019).
I was definitely rapping. So yeah, I definitely had been rapping up to that point. So I would say I'd probably seen like the shift go in, but I feel like I wasn't too like seasoned on like just social media and promoting myself in general at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it should have been something that I should have been looking to, like looking back now. But nah, you saying 2019, it makes a lot of sense. And I was definitely rapping then. So
do you? I guess the question is like, do you feel? It's almost like back when you were a rapper, back before, you didn't have to worry about marketing or something. Like, it's kind of like, I just got the music, the streets is kind of gonna fuck with it. They're gonna see me at a couple clubs and I'm kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Now it's almost like you have to be almost as equally as a lyricist as you do as a content communicator.
Right.
Sorry,
you're good.
But you almost have to be equally as good at that
For
as
sure.
you have to be as a lyricist, and as you have to be as like picking your features and like putting together an album. You know what I mean? Like, it almost seems like that's part of the equation now, right?
For sure.
What's your relationship with that like?
I feel like we were saying off camera, I feel like the word content creation is it's terrifying, bro. It's like a witch. But I feel like the tide has kind of gotten away from just putting out good shit, like put out good music, put out good videos, make sure that you take dope pictures, and make sure that everything makes sense to who you are as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the people that do that, the content can take a backseat because they are the content. You know what I'm saying? And like that's definitely the goal that I'm going for. And I mean the joke and say that it's scary and everything because content has kind of just like went through all these tunnels and went through all these hands and eyes and ears and shit and kind of trickled down to this point where content is like putting captions over your song and like sitting in front of your camera on TikTok and saying, oh, like I just made this. Do I sound like that's terrible? And like that's what we came to. But at the end of the day, content is just something that consumers can relate to, something that artist or creator gives consumer. That's what content is. You know what I'm saying? And this is a way to make our real life digestible for somebody that's watching it. So maybe they're like, oh, I think his real life is cool, or like, I like this compilation video. I want to find out the song that's in the background of it. You know what I'm saying? So content is cool, bro. I just feel like it's how we perceive content and just like the influx, bro, and the fucking oversaturation of content is like, that's nasty. But I feel like content can be cool. You know what I'm saying? And like I do want to make cool content. So yeah. Shout out to good content and people that put a lot into making good content.
What's considered selling your soul though? Like, what's because when I hear you say that, right, I kind of think like, yeah, like you don't want to be on TikTok tap dancing. Like you kind of that for Wiseboy Jeremy, that would be kind of out of brand.
Right.
Be like, why is that happening? Right. But like, what is? I always ask people like, are you selling your soul or are you just doing something you don't want to do? I don't think those are the same two things.
I don't at all.
You know what I mean?
No,
like somebody could be like, I don't want to fucking put that line there. I'm not selling my soul. It's like, I don't think that's what's happening, bro. Like, you feel me? Like,
I get you.
is that something you battle with a lot? That kind of like,
Nah, bro. I think if a nigga was asking me to sell my soul, I would know, and I'd be like, nah, I don't think that there's any other way you could put that. That's funny though. I've never heard that one.
I guess like something like if somebody was like, so for example, if you never have worn a dress a day in your life and you don't dress that way, and
right?
Like somebody's like, I need you to wear a dress,
Right?
I forgot who I interviewed. I interviewed somebody and they were saying like that would strongly be against selling my soul because like I had like religious beliefs and things like that where like that would compromise, right? But like, all right, here we go. I want to put you on our. We have a segment on the show. We haven't named it yet, but it's a segment where we try to break artists' soul. Is what it is. And what we do is, I'm a label. Yeah, I'm a label. I'm Jim Hornstein with this side of Jersey Records.
Right.
And Wiseboy Jeremy, we've been listening to your music a lot. We've been consuming it. We think it's amazing. Pumpkin Seeds is a very layered project.
Thank you.
You have some very nice features there. The whole shebang. We love the whole thing. But here's the thing, Jeremy. We want to sign you to this side records. This side records.
Okay.
We want to sign you to this side
Let me hear what y'all talking
about. Yeah. So here's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll get you the Adidas. We'll get you the New Balance. You'll get all those kind of endorsements. You'll get all those. That's all fine. But here's the thing, Jeremy. We need you to be a little more, what's the word? Trappy? We need you to be a little more trappy. We need a little more trap drums.
How much y'all cut me up on top, though? Because I got a lot of trap shit, bro. And I don't want to give it away for free.
All right.
So,
here's a little bit. We'll give you $20,000 up front.
Okay.
That you have to recoup before you get profit.
I have to recoup it before I get profit.
Correct. So we're gonna loan you. We're gonna give you an advance of $20,000.
Right. So my advance is $20K.
Yes.
And I have to recoup it before I get profit. Or like before you give me the advance, or before the songs make money.
Before the songs make money. So I'm gonna give you $20,000 once you sign this contract.
Okay. Oh,
right?
okay. So
but that's almost like your now go plant your seeds. Right.
So wait, I'm recouping before I see money off the songs type shit.
Correct.
So the song's still okay. That makes sense.
Correct.
So you cut me $20,000 on top to become a trap artist, and I don't see any money until I recoup the $20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of trap producers you hooking me up with, bro?
Here's the thing. We haven't seen any, and we gotta see a little more from you, right, before we get you the Metro Boomers. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We gotta
What
see.
if I want to like Southside?
We'll get you a Southside.
Okay.
We'll get you a
If you
Southside.
can get Southside on the phone, I might ink something.
Okay. Now, last but not least, Jeremy, before you sign this deal.
Okay.
If you sign this deal, right? We got a big shoot coming up with GQ.
Okay.
We got a big shoot coming up. They're looking for the next young and hot thing coming out of New Jersey.
Okay.
Here's the thing, Jeremy. We might need you for this shoot to wear a skirt. Okay? We might need that.
How long is the skirt, bro?
The skirt is above the knee, right above the knee. It's going to cut off. And we're going to put you in some like really oversized Doc Martens.
Oversized. I can rock some Doc Martens.
Yeah. That's all we need from you, Jeremy. That's all we need.
And this is the GQ shoot. And they're looking for the next hottest thing out of New Jersey.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you this, bro. By the time I hit GQ, I guarantee that I'll give them a treatment to be shooting me. Like, by the time I do some shit with GQ, like, they'll be knocking on my door. But aside from GQ, bro, I feel like I need to see something. Like, I need to have some type of royalty split before I recruit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like me zero was like, that's a little sketchy, bro.
Jeremy, you're asking a lot of questions,
you know, but you got to, though. You know what I mean? You got to. And in this situation, it's felt like you're trying to change my whole sound.
Jeremy, we want you to have faith in us.
I do.
So we put you
I do. But like, y'all ain't even fucking want music, bro. You trying to make me change your fucking vibe of the game.
All right, so obviously you got some things that are non-negotiable. Right. Which is good to hear. You got some things that are non-negotiable.
For sure.
And you won't just walk blindly into a contract, it seems.
No, I will not.
It seems. Would you ever sign a contract the day of? So like we presented you this contract. And before you leave today, we want you to sign it.
The day of? Nah. I think like even if I feel like I did interpret the conversation, the contract all the way, it would still be stupid to like, because I feel like there's no reason to rush. Like, why can't I sign it tomorrow? Next week, you feel me? Because I feel like regardless with situations or contractual situations that I've been in, like there's never been a rush because like nothing happens instantly anyway. So I can sign the contract as soon as I get it. I'm not seeing any, you know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing any of that till all that shit is over with. So yeah.
What if they told you got to do something? Like, for example, we need you to beef with NBA Youngboy. Like we just need that for marketing.
Why I gotta be for top though?
It's just it'll sell. It'll sell. $2 million, Jeremy.
$2 million
On the table. We just need you to be for
to be for top. I don't know. I fuck with Utah too much, bro. I can't be banned from Utah. I fuck with Utah too much.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I got some homies that like grew up on top, so I don't want to like come back to the block and all my childhood friends don't fuck with me.
Shit.
So.
Collateral damage there.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. We think you're too smart of an artist for us to sign. We don't think we're interested in you. We're too smart. You asked many questions.
Oh, okay. Maybe let's go sign and we can negotiate a little bit. All right.
No, we try to get the people who aren't smart. We try to get the people who aren't going to ask you questions so that we can take advantage of that.
Look, you live your American dream, brother.
But next thing I want to talk about, bro, let's talk a little bit 635 a little bit.
Okay.
Let's chat 635 a little bit, bro. Talk to me about the project.
Man, 635. So 635 is coming at a great time. I'm not sure when this interview is going to drop, but at this point,
around time will be drop.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, 635 is coming out next month, and it's coming out before the album and before the last single. So, yeah, bro, just really loosies. It's really a lot of loosies. I had a conversation with my manager, and we kind of just want to put something out. And I have a lot of music that I'm sitting on, so these were kind of just picking out the best ones from like the last 2-3 years and just putting out a 3-pack. And I feel like the production is really great too on all 3 of these songs. And like the visuals are kind of going to tie into each other in that world. And like, it's like a microscope, you know what I'm saying? So you got the world of 635 and you got the visual world of 635 and all of that fits within the visual world of Pumpkin Seeds and shit like that. So it's kind of just like another venture that I'm about to go on real fast. You know what I'm saying? So
that's tough. Bro, do you have a set amount of videos that have to come out when you have, like, for example, Pumpkin Seeds is what, 12 tracks?
11, 12,
something like that. Mm-hmm. Do you immediately say, okay, 12 tracks, we need 4 videos? Or like, is that like the immediate like thing, or you kind of, it's more of an attachment to the song, like if I'm not attached to the
It's definitely more of an attachment to the song, but I got Pumpkin Seeds is I'm under a situation with Pumpkin Seeds and they need a certain amount of videos for it, for like rollout and everything. So like, and it's not like a crazy amount, like it's super, super doable, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Just the thought process is a little more like, instead of, like you said, being attached to the songs, like I want to do songs for these videos, this process is like, okay, I need 3-4 videos. So these songs are definitely gonna have videos, but like I kind of want 6 videos for the album. So like these are gonna be my side projects. I'm gonna work on like movies and shit like that.
Gosh, okay. Fire. Bro, do you want to talk at all about, you just said you're in a situation, do you want to talk at all about that situation, or do you want to leave it?
It's
Yeah,
shout out to EQ, bro. I'm under a distro with them. I've been with them for a little over 6 months now. I want to say I inked my deal in August. You know what I'm saying? And they've been great, bro. You know what I'm saying? So funny story. The reason that like I know how to, the whole negotiation thing was like a callback to like my real life. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a lot of difficulty and just like back and forth with my team and their team and stuff like that. Cause I wanted to make sure that like I wasn't getting into nothing stupid and you know what I'm saying? And they were there, they were definitely helpful when they needed to be. And I've been blessed to have great lawyers and you know what I'm saying, good company on my side that has my best interests, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't want me to get into anything stupid. But yeah man, they've been treating me good and I'll probably be here for a little minute. So.
Just because of your experience and hearing you say that you kind of had this experience, outside of like read the contract and think about it, right? Like what advice would you give to someone who walked into a situation similar to the one that you said you walked into, where you kind of had to do these things and say these things and think about these things? What's one thing that you would say, like, yo, this might happen, do this, or like be aware of this, or like what would be that? Keep talking about it, bro.
Just get a lawyer. Literally get a lawyer. Like I feel like I definitely was the person that was like, you gotta read the contract and understand it. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like you could read the whole contract, you can understand the whole contract, you could even annotate the whole contract, bro. Like you can have everything. And I did though, bro. Like they sent it to me on this digital platform, and I printed it, and I had the whole contract, like this thick whole contract, and I was writing on it with blue pen and just like and they're trying to write down what I do understand and what I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, there's still a lot of shit that I'm not understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I read through this whole contract, and it's like, what the fuck is perpetuity? You know what I'm saying? So like, you still need a lawyer to like walk you through those things. So I would say that would be the first step, and that wasn't my first step, and that might have been why the process took a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like I try to want to like work around that. You know what I'm saying? Same time I was broke, so if I had the money, I probably would have gave it to a lawyer ASAP. But like, I had friends and I have family members that maybe were like, you know what I'm saying, taking classes for like law and shit like that. So like, that's what I was trying to go for at first. I know I had some conversation with my grandfather about it and my homie's mom, who, you know what I'm saying, had her run-ins with like just learning about the law and stuff. I was gonna give it to her and everything like that, but then it kind of came down to it, and I was just like, I think I need a lawyer to proceed, because like there's still gonna be a ceiling of shit that I don't understand, even if like my grandfather understands this much more than me and my friend's mom understands this much more than me. We still could be at like 73% understanding. You know what I'm saying? So I would say get a lawyer. Like, don't play with that shit, bro. Just get a lawyer, because it's like you want to go through the fucked up shit before it happens, so the fucked up shit isn't going on while it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be going through fucked up shit, and like at the end of the day, you can go through, it cannot go through. But if you rush into some shit, like now you're here. You know what I'm saying? You can't get out of this type shit. So yeah.
That shit sounds so scary, bro.
It can be, bro. That's why I took a minute. That's why I was definitely like, I'm not really in a rush, because I don't want to, you know, fuck up my whole shit and be like 30, like damn, you know. So
Did some bad shit for like 10 years.
Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
But I don't want to say like I was just being picky. I don't want to say picky. I was just being very specific. You know what I'm saying? So this is not to say that EQ was giving me bad contracts or anything like that.
No.
There were just certain things that like I wanted to make sure was set in place if I was going to be with you guys for this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, do you think you value time or money more right now?
yeah, that's a hard one. I feel like it's like an everlasting like ping pong back and forth between both, bro. I don't know, bro. I would definitely say money. I feel like I'm in a very fluid space with time right now, and I feel like I'm on top of time right now. And there's definitely been times in my life where like it's been the opposite, like I value time more than money. But right now, like I feel like I'm cool on time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not moving too fast right now. I got a lot of music that's set to drop, videos that's set to drop, it's like done and shit like that. So I'm kind of in a cool space where I can just like kick it with my manager about like what we want to do, like, and like where we want to place my face in like the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not actively shooting every damn day or like shooting a video every, you know what I'm saying? And even though that shit is cool, I just have more time to like relax. You know what I'm saying? Like this morning I woke up because my homie called me, he was just like, yo, you want to hoop? You know what I'm saying? Like I can do shit like that at this fucking point. But like next week I might not be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because next week I'm shooting the 635 videos. So it's like back and forth, you know? So
That's one of my favorite things ever, bro. When you get that call, like, yo, you want to go? And you're like, yeah, I do. Like, I can and I do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, especially when there's moments you can't. So you're like, I can right now. Let me take this.
Yeah, I fuck with that, bro. I fuck with that. So, bro, anything else on 635? I feel like you said that you kind of took the best songs of the last 2 to 3 years and put them together. But are we gonna turn to like a Kirby situation where?
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Now we need an album now.
Nah, it's coming out as is, but it low key might be a series though. I'll say that. It low key might be a series. You know, because I feel like the inspiration for a lot of my shit is very sporadic and random. The 635 came when I was just driving and I just saw the interstate, like the blue and yellow driving 635. I was like, that's the name. But then there's a lot of them, bro. There's a lot of them. And there's random numbers, bro. There's like 626, 603. So it's like, I don't know, bro. And I was just making the graphics for it, and like the 635 with the Wiseboy Jeremy on it, it just does look like some New Jersey shit. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, bro.
Nah.
My plans, bro.
Nah, say no more. Say no more.
It could. You could see a 3-digit number become a series of like EPs for it. So
that's tough. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Appreciate you, bro.
I want to move into Still Chldrn, bro. Still Chldrn was the last project that was placed on DSPs, right? Talk about it, bro. Talk about Still Chldrn. Talk about the inspiration behind it, kind of some of the tales that went into creating it.
Still Chldrn, bro. I just wanted to rap. Man. I just had a lot of A lot of pent up shit, bro. Not even like a specific emotion like anger or sadness, but it was just a lot like inside that I wanted to get out. And I was making music, bro, and it sounds crazy, but I feel like I wasn't making the right music. And I wasn't going about making music the right way. And I kind of wanted to like not start over, but like start fresh in a sense. And I was just like, yo, I want to rap on some new shit that I don't really rap on. I want to like put more into my raps. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be more transparent. And like at the time, like I feel like I had to drop a lot to have this conversation with myself because I felt like I was being as transparent as I could. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was the most comfortable on the beats that I was rapping over. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I kind of had to like step down and have that convo with myself and just be like, let's get better. You know what I'm saying? And that's like something that I feel like every artist needs to constantly go through because if not, you're complacent. You know what I'm saying? So Still Children was kind of me just trying to get out of that complacency. And it was another situation where like when the streak hits, bro, and when I'm able to hit at like a cool time, I can get my ideas out in a great way because like when I'm making like 2-3 joints in a day, it's very easy to like narrow it down when you get to like day 4, day 5. It's like, all right, we have this many joints. I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I want to build on this. This is like an idea that I can scrap and come back to later. You know what I'm saying? So Still Children was another one of the moments where when I had the idea, like I just wanted to rap again, I think I made the second drum. I made a joint called Boonies with my homie Supreme Digger, shout out to him. I made that and then I made the intro. I made Jade the next day, and then I think the next day I made another random joint. Next day I made another random joint, and then a couple days later, me and my homie Mac had drove up to Hackensack to finish the project because we just kind of wanted to isolate. So we did that, and then I said the album was finished because I had like 8 songs, but then I ended up coming back home, fine-tuning it, finalizing it, and then that's the project. So yeah.
So quick question, bro. When you say like when I'm hearing you talk about like putting the album together, it's almost like it could be like, okay, I'm gonna make this album called Inhaler. And I got, let's say I want 10 songs, let's say I got 3 already.
Right.
Or no, let's say I want 10 songs, let's say I got 12.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, right? It sounds like you could be doing things where it's like, okay, I gotta fit 10 onto this song even though I got 12. Let's take off these 4, but now I need another song to sandwich in between this one and this one. So I gotta create that song.
Right.
Like you're doing like a bunch of trial error, pull this from here, then we're gonna add this, we gotta create a new this. Now these 2 songs don't belong. Like it's a lot of like
for sure, bro. Because I feel like it has to tell a story at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And as crazy as it sounds, like sometimes it's like this song got pulled, so now the song before it, the song after it has to get pulled too. Because I feel like sonically, it's not gonna fit if I just throw this shit like behind this song, right? Let's move a couple tracks down. Like in my head, like shit doesn't work like that, bro. Everything has to make sense with this music shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, and just a lot of just get to a point where I think too hard about it, and maybe like now I can 1, 2 song where it wasn't on there. I'm focusing too how 5, 6 because. With each other, you know what I'm saying?
bro, I feel like every time I talk to a musician, like I start to understand more and more how complex it is. They're like, oh wow. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure, bro.
Y'all be fighting demons inside.
Man, you're getting crazy,
bro. Bro, I want this down while you were talking, but I didn't want to lose it, but I wanted to continue to hear you talk. You said when you were putting out Still Children, you were kind of at like a pivotal moment where you were kind of like charged up to kind of like compile this, right?
Right.
I was going to ask, was that a similar feeling to when you were transitioning from Jeremy O to Wiseboy Jeremy?
Could you ask a question one more time?
So was it the similar feeling when you were talking about putting together Still Children? Mm-hmm. And a lot of what you were talking about was how like it was a pivotal moment, right. How you were closing the door on a lot of things, how you felt like it was the right time for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You really see a lot of these kind of like like triggering kind of like phrases, right? To kind of say like there's a lot of energy and momentum and reason behind this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in you saying all that, it felt like you were saying similar things when you were talking about the transition from Jeremy O to Wiseboy Jeremy. Like you were saying like there's a lot of things that like just like it was a pivotal time, like it was almost energy was kind of pushing you to go do that. Was that like a similar feeling when Still Children was kind of being put together, or two totally different? I'm just reading that wrong.
No, on the surface it definitely was. You know what I'm saying? Like on the surface it was like I want to change something. You know what I'm saying? And I want this change to be like seen. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be indicative of like the direction that I'm going in. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's something as tangible as like what people read when they see the artist's name, you know what I'm saying? Or something as like as deep rooted as the feeling that I get and the pure emotion that I invoke with the pen. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely more dramatic when it came to this, because this was like not really I just want to change my name and how people perceive me. Like I want it to be catchy, this, da 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 da. That was more like outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be seen as this, and like of course I need the name to still resonate with me, but like on the surface of it, it's just like this is the name that people are reading, and I would rather people be reading Wiseboy Jeremy than Jeremy Yo. You know what I'm saying? But like with the Still Children thing, that was kind of like, yo, I'm not really satisfied with my pen right now. Like I need to make better raps. I need to make more raps. You know what I'm saying? I need to put out an album because, like I said, I just scrapped an album, so I was just working on the album for X amount of time. Didn't put it out. And I was just like, you know what I'm saying? I want to do something. And then this was around the time where I just started like, remember when I was talking about the one show where I was like, all the artists were kind of like peering over the riverbank? That's where I was. So I was like, I saw the scene that I wanted to get into, and it was just like, you know what I'm saying? I want to put my foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? Like Still Children was like me walking in the door and being like,
I'm here.
Yo, type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Introducing yourself in that room.
Very much so. And that's why I think the transition from that to Pumpkin Seeds and even like my next album after that, which is also finished, like the transition is kind of like.
Is it finished?
Yeah, that shit is like 20 songs.
Your next album to the album that didn't come out yet.
Yeah, yo, it's a lot of demons being fought, man. I'm conquering them. But yeah, well, I feel like Still Children was like me kicking my foot into the door and like, yo, I'm here type shit. Pumpkin Seeds is kind of like, all right, well, I can rap, but let me slow it down and tell y'all who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Jeremiah. Let me give y'all my story. You know what I'm saying? Those raps was from my mind and everything. This is like just the crazy shit that I feel like I can come up with, the crazy shit that I want to put out, and it's Still Children, not Still Children. Pumpkin Seeds is like from the heart, you know what I'm saying? But then my next shit, which is like, all right, damn, lost it. Yeah, my next shit, Black Opulence, is like from the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like black magic shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like this trifecta I got going on, it's like, it wasn't intentional. That's the crazy part too. And I do feel like there's a lot of elements in each album that can like feed into maybe another point. Like there's a lot of raps on Still Children that like, this is definitely from the heart, or this is definitely from the spirit. And then raps on Pumpkin Seeds, it's like, this is not all from the heart, maybe this is from the mind and spirit, blah, blah. Like I feel like as just an entity and like a body of work, each one of these projects kind of falls right into like, you know what I'm saying, a tunnel. You know what I'm saying? With my discography, you kind of just go through these tunnels and they all kind of make sense working in conjunction, you know? So, yeah.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
I thought you were going to say, when you were saying like this album was you like, you know, wanting to get in that door. This album was like, okay, I'm here. Like,
Right.
I thought you were going to say the next album was like me being like, all right, I'm better than all y'all niggas. Like some mad cocky shit. Like, all right, now that I'm here, you ass. It's like,
Nah, you probably gonna see an album down the line like that though, but not this one.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think I am eager to see. Are you competitive?
I can be, bro. It's too much going on.
Are you hip hop competitive? You know how that is.
I am, and I want to be, bro. But like with this whole Kendrick shit going on right now, I feel like everybody's trying to be too competitive, and that shit is corny, bro. That shit is corny.
Bro,
you say it right now.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking corny. All these niggas trying to follow by what Kendrick's doing, and like, it's cheesy, bro. And I've just been seeing an influx of niggas just like this and afterwards, bro. And it's just like, why are we doing this, dog? Like, these grown men, like, they trying to pay their bills, nigga. Like, it's a lot. But regardless of it, what I will say is if I ever do hear my name on record, it's going to be a sad day in the neighborhood for that rapper who chose to say my name. But I'm never going to out and say anybody's name on record for no reason. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want to beef, and that's not why I'm here. Like I said at the beginning, like I know that I'm a good rapper. I'm not here to make good rap songs or even deal with like rap politics and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this shit for Jersey, bro, and all of the people in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And letting my people, my family know that this shit can happen and anything can happen if you just be like, fuck it, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. If you ever hear a rapper sing my name, just let me know.
I will.
Like
I'll send the screenshots.
I'll be like, all right, yeah.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think I would love to see like competitive. I would love to see like I'll rap all your niggas. Like, I want to see that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you so chill. Like, I can rap.
Nah, bro, I got diss tracks definitely like from a couple years ago, like from shit that was going on like in my hometown.
Okay.
Definitely recorded like on wax diss tracks, but then like decided not to drop them because I guess not what I'm here for. And if I couldn't realize it while I was making and recording them, like I realized it like listening back, like nah, it's not for me, you know. But who knows what's gonna happen in the future, bro? Maybe a nigga will say some crazy shit about me. And I'm just like, fuck it.
I want to give you my opinion on the Kendrick Cole.
Please let me hear it.
I want to give you my opinion.
Well, whose side you want first?
I don't think I'm not on a side really. Like I just like I like the sport. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not on a side. I liked what Kendrick did on Like That. I did like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it.
It was cool.
I liked it too because it felt like he was kind of like putting the gun on the back. Like he kind of was like, I will fuck y'all up in here. Like stop playing with me.
Right.
All right, now I'm going back in Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta come out and be like, nigga.
For sure.
Don't fucking forget. And then he like was all right, now I'm going back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like. I don't say I don't agree. I don't like that J. Cole is so apologetic about this track. I don't love it. The reason I don't love it is for a lot of reasons. Don't get me wrong. Whatever your internal healing thing is, that's
right.
That matters. That's the thing that you gotta live with when the internet's turned off. You still gotta live with that, right?
For sure.
100%. Go call that nigga and tell him behind the scenes how you feel.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because as fans, like we know this isn't like Tupac Biggie beef where somebody's gonna die. Does that make sense? Like,
what if Kendrick still got shooters in town?
He probably do, but is Kendrick really gonna call those shooters to go put a hit on J. Cole? Like, is that really about to happen?
I mean, look,
you know what I'm saying?
Like he said, I got really sick friends, do whatever to keep me safe, bro. So maybe it wasn't Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, his friends just care about him that much.
Yeah, like, this is just a random theory that I thought about, like with the whole apology, but like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, what were you saying?
But also, too, like, what have you been rapping about for the last 2 years? Like, the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
You've been on a rampage. Like, whoever won it, come get it. I don't care. I'm not ducking y'all niggas. This is what it is. Like, you've been saying that for the last 2 years.
Albums and entire, like, base his whole brand off of being a better rapper. Right?
Than everybody. Than literally everybody.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't agree with it, but, I mean, listen, bro. Niggas be fighting demons.
Yeah,
so
we got
when he said that, like, he couldn't sleep that night, that's serious, bro. That's serious, bro. So, like, that's, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't agree with it, but it's just like, if you lied that bad on Wax and said to Pimp a Butterfly was not a good album, like, I'd probably be having nightmares too.
That was the only thing I think he said that was wrong. Was that Pimp a Butterfly was ass.
I didn't really like listen to the diss track too analytically. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't remember all that was said. I do remember the T-Pad line and then like he's 5'5" or something like that. Yeah. But
he basically said his first album was a classic, his second one was ass. He said the third one was what he said? Your first year was classic, your last year was tragic.
So first year, so Good Kid was classic.
Your Good Kid was classic, your last shit was tragic.
Mr. Morale was tragic, and then what did he say?
Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it somehow to Pimp a Butterfly.
I feel like J. Cole saying that somebody put
And then he said Damn was massive. He said Damn was like her prime. He was like, so your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic, your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. Is what he said.
Okay. His third is his. You said his third ship?
Yeah,
his third ship was like massive. I don't know if I consider that Kendrick's prime. Maybe he was at the height of his popularity, but I don't think that's his prime. But that's just me. But yeah, dog, I feel like at the end of the day, even with people understanding, like me and you, like understanding the healing aspect of it, like what you may need to do, I feel like what you have put out into the world for the last couple of years, and like that coming to this is just like, why did you do all that, bro? Because you didn't have to, but you know what I'm saying? You have songs like the one joint he did over the Drake beat where he was like admitting that like he's third to like Drake and Kendrick and like how he sees them as like superstars. So it's like, all right, if it's that, then like carry that, you know what I'm saying? Be a humble dude who doesn't really give a fuck about like his status. He's just like, I'm just happy to be here with these motherfuckers because these are my friends. And like, he a grown ass man, so he's not gonna listen to anybody else telling him what he needs to do. And at the end of the day, he's gonna do what's good for him. But like, just as a fan, like overlooking this shit, I'm just like, it's hip hop, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you couldn't take it, then I feel like you should have stepped in, bro. And then you got people talking to worse, bro. Yeah.
I'm glad you shared that sentiment, bro. I'm glad you shared that sentiment.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that was kind of like it's hip hop, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my point. Like,
did you hear the Drake leaks?
I hope they're real.
I think it's official now.
Is it?
But here's my thing though.
Yeah. Oh, I hope it's real, Jeremy.
And I remember
Jeremiah. Oh man, I hope it's real.
I heard it's real, but here's what I was telling my people, right? Drake with his back against the wall, I feel like that nigga can't lose, right? And I've never witnessed the Drake with the whole industry behind him, but nigga, I was there when Back to Back came out. I was there when Chldrn Up came out. You feel me? So like, I know how Drake gets in the heat of battle, but they're saying that the diss track leaked, and then it came out officially, but there's beat switches and like different lines and shit.
Oh, it's not the same.
Right, and that's what I don't fuck with because I think it's good. I think it's cool, but it's like, I feel like you let the public perceive it, let them decipher what they fuck with, what they think is corny, what they don't, blah, 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 and then just like play it off as like, oh, it's not an official version, and then drop an official word that's relatively the same, but like, just as a minor, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like, I feel like if you just dropped it, I would be like, listen, I would have been Drake's #1 fan today. You would have heard me come to this interview like, I love Drake. That was the first thing I said. But that's not what he did, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like there's a lot of games and gimmicks right now, bro. Nobody's really being straightforward. You get what I'm saying? So
it's hard to tell like what's real, what's not. Like,
exactly, bro. It's like, do y'all niggas want to rap or like, do y'all want to beef or not? You know what I'm saying? I feel like if y'all wanted to be, Kendrick is the only person who said something, and that's been that. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole said something, apologized, took it down, and then Drake said something, but wasn't really sure if like this was cool.
Yeah,
so,
damn, bro.
Which is why a testament to like me at the beginning, Drake or Kendrick, J. Cole or Kendrick.
Because he's the only one who like it feels like stood on business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like through it all, he's the only one who kind of was like
right. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to do that. He wanted to hop on like that and do that, and that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like it's just a testament to like how far he's came like in this like situation in general. Because like he said nothing, bro. Since like it's just been all hell since like that. He said nothing, and like he got niggas retracting and being unsure of what they're saying. Like I don't even think like that was crazy.
It was
crazy like that. Like, it was just because he was like name dropping. Like not name dropping, but just because they knew he was dissing his counterparts, it was like it was. But like I feel like on a diss level, it wasn't like. Oh my
that wasn't like a diss track.
Right.
That was like a headline or anything. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you said that really well. I like when you put that together.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
So bro, let me ask you, bro. What do you want from this? What do you want from this music life? What do you want from the work you put in day in and day out? What do you want from the effort and the passion and just your investment into this game? What do you want out of it?
I just want to be heard, bro. I just want people to like listen to my shit and just kind of like understand that this is where I was, and just kind of like have my music as just like my music is kind of just like a section in like everything that I do, like just me as an entity. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like there's gonna be a point where the music chapter is closed and I keep progressing forward, like with different ventures in life and everything. Like whether that be in music or just like outside of music, you know what I'm saying? So if I like start pursuing instruments or just like take a step back and just start like writing for other people or just like get into producing more and then start producing for other people and shit like that. And then like I already got like albums and stuff that like I'm not gonna release as albums, and like I want to turn them into movies. So I feel like that's gonna be like a whole nother venture. Just like, all right, how do I turn this album into a movie? Because I'm knowing that like that's not gonna be some overnight shit. So yeah, bro, I want to make sure that my family's happy, my family's straight, my people are good, and yeah, all the money in the world, all the cars in the world, even though I'm not gonna drive all but one. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be like a fucking Grand Cherokee or something. Yeah, I wanna do crazy headliners. Like when it comes to like my rap goals, bro, like I wanna do everything. You know what I'm saying? And even I have moments where it's like I kind of want to just like put the forefront on like what I want to give back, but like when it comes to rap, right, I do want to be like I want to be the best, bro. I want to be the greatest motherfucker to ever do it. But I'm not here for that. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to be that, but that's not why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So like that's something that like I'll handle. Like I feel like people don't need to worry about where I am on my like greatest rapper alive. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be the people who believe that I am when I believe that I am. You know what I'm saying? We'll have, you know what I'm saying, our people, our tribe, and then we'll convince the world as we go. You know what I mean? So
I like it, bro. I like it. All right, last thing I want to do with you before we head out.
mm-hmm.
I like to do this on my podcast and then say I'm like the reason things happen.
Okay.
Anybody in Jersey that you want to collab with, bro? Are there any Jersey collabs, somebody that you're like, I need to track with them, or I would love to track with them?
That I haven't collabed with?
That you haven't collabed with yet already.
Okay.
Or if somebody that you're like, nah, like that was the person. We did it already, but like, you know what I mean? Whatever.
I need a Redman verse. I need a Redman verse on one.
Redman. Okay.
Let me get that. Let's say next 4. Say one of my next 4 projects. I want a Redman verse. I feel like the generic answer is SZA, bro. For some reason, like I feel like
you are the second person to say that.
Okay. So okay. Well, I'm not the first. But yeah, let me get something from SZA. Like a verse. SZA be rapping, bro. I might take a verse from SZA. And some harmonies and shit like that. Other artists from Jersey that I want to work with. Man.
Do you know who Mira Fontaine is?
Yeah, that was a show I opened for.
Oh, yes, are you guys right? Would you collab with him?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think he's super dope. I love what he's doing, bro. I definitely get some shit on him. I'm just trying to think of like artists that I haven't collabed with, like that are not like unbelievably famous, like
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I gotta tap in more. I know that for sure. There's a lot of great artists in Jersey that like I'm trying to make music with like actively right now. I got a lot of shit coming out with a lot of great Jersey artists. So I don't know if like saying their name would be exposing that, you know what I'm saying, in terms of like making it seem like we haven't worked yet and we're trying to get something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of people though. Shout out to New Jersey. New Jersey's great. There's a lot of beautiful talent here, bro. And like we all sound different. Dog, it's crazy. Like it's very, very diverse here. There's a lot of people going crazy in Jersey right now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think it's that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. So we still have that one good. Okay. So, bro, I want to say, man, thank you so much for sitting down with us, bro. It has been so much fun, bro. I'm very excited to hear what you have coming up, bro. Hear what's coming out. Yeah, we have a fan forever in us, bro. Here at this time, bro.
Likewise,
Of course, man. Until next time, y'all. It is Inside of Jersey Podcast. Peace.
Sir.